I already got it. Don't worry. So, anyways, unilateral burdens, right? When it pertains to specific people, right? That would pertain in terms of it's reflexive of the claim itself, not in terms or index towards the specific dialectic, right? So, because when someone has, obviously, when referring towards the Socratetical model, right, that'd be referring to positive burdens in terms of the proposition, right? But we talk about the propositions when the stances are taking or their dosastic attitudes. Dosastic attitudes are when you take a belief, right? And you affirm a yes or no part about it, about the proposition, obviously. So we are not referring towards the proposition in itself. We refer towards the entire point about the claim itself, right? The claim, when referring towards the negative claim, you are still taking the negation and saying this negation is true. That is positive in affirmation towards the negation point. I'm not saying the negative in terms, obviously, comparison towards the positive claim is the positive claim when taking the bilateral perspective. We are taking a unilateral perspective. Unilateral is when it affects one party, not two parties. Obviously, what you're doing is you're strawmanning me and obviously including or just making this inclusive towards a bilateral party. I am talking about a unilateral party when it involves a specific one claim and it's reflexive of that claim. Otherwise, there's going to be a contradiction if we include that, right? So that's what I am doing to make sure there are no contradictions in terms of my epistemology. Okay? Are there any types of refutations towards what I just said?
You're done? Okay, I think the
I
mute
just
speaks
said
for
you
itself.
retard.
Yeah, yeah, I said it's the mute speaks for itself, retard. Anyways, wait, okay, wait, bro, say but unmute because I'm gonna ask a few questions, a few yes or no clarifying questions.
Okay, go retard and say him.
Good. Oh my God, you really love the word retard.
Yeah,
Anyways,
retard, say it.
okay. So when you talk about burdens, when you talk about positive and negative burdens, do you think there's more than one sense as to we can say that yeah, you have the burden, you have a lesser burden, like because you talked about yeah, it can be in some sense, but I'm not talking about that sense. So I'm gonna clarify: is there more than one sense to this?
Towards specifically about the dialectical or just like specifically about the proposition in question.
The burdens. I
Okay,
don't
so
know. I don't
okay,
know how.
so
Okay.
that would be dialectical. Okay. So
Okay.
obviously when you take burdens, you'd be taking obviously about like propositions, right? So based upon what I said, right? I'm assuming that these questions follow from what I said specifically, or is an attack towards what I said, right? Yes or no? Or
No,
they're
it's a clarifying question. I just said it's a clarifying question.
okay. You just said let me clarify. That is not more so about when in reference or towards what I'm saying, right? I am saying is this building up towards refutation, right? Obviously, you are not tracking that part. Is this like a building up
Jesus
process,
Christ.
retard? Right? So it could be a clarification question, but more so it can still build up towards more
Why
so
the
obviously
fuck are you
refutation.
so paranoid? I just said, is there more than one sense to this? Yes or no?
This guy
Yes or
is so
fucking no?
this guy is so retarded. Oh
Oh
my
my,
lord.
bro,
Anyways,
do you want me
no,
to be
no, no.
clear on your sense or
Hold
no?
on.
Do you want, yes or
So
no? Is there more than
I'm gonna
one
answer the
sense to
question.
this? Okay, good.
So
Yes or no. The only two words that should come out your fucking mouth should be a yes or no. Okay?
so first of all, I don't know who the fuck you're speaking to. You're my dog and you're getting cursed on right now. Anyways, back to what I'm saying, so I can answer your fucking moronic question. When it
Mm-hmm.
comes towards a specific burden, obviously we'd be making those inclusive towards a bilateral union. But when it comes to what I am saying, right, originally, because we're debating about burdens, if they could be positive, etc., right? So here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. When you talk about the proposition, can negative claims be positive claims, right? When you talk about them being more so unilateral, they are reflective of being positive because you are still affirming in terms of the dialectical progression and obviously the proposition in question, right? When you take the negation towards that dawsastic attitude is still affirming it's true, right? But back to your question, I just had to clarify that to try and app you, right? So back to the question, more so. So you're asking me if it's lesser, right? I just want a clarification so I can answer the question, more so a bit better, like because we kind of got sidetracked, with the retard
Get to
con,
the fucking point. Oh my god, you're so
question.
insufferable.
So go ahead and answer my question about it being clarification. Like, just give some clarification on the question.
What clarification? I wrote it down in text. Check main
So
chat.
this guy wasn't listening and he was just busy jerking himself off. So, anyways, I'm
Okay,
gonna
you know what?
ask
Wait,
you
wait, Siva,
again.
Siva, Siva.
I'm
Wait,
gonna
no, wait,
ask
Siva,
you
Siva,
again
Siva.
for
Shut
clarification.
up. Okay,
No,
okay, go
no,
ahead,
no. I'm gonna ask you
go
again
ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go
because
ahead.
obviously to answer the question, I'm gonna need the clarification part. If you want that, you're just gonna be bad faith. Okay, sure.
Ask the
You're
fucking
gonna allow me
question.
to
Oh
answer
my
it, right?
god.
And you're trying to cut me off by telling me to shut up while also asking for what clarification, right? So shut the fuck
Uh-huh.
up so I can answer, right? Ask me what type of clarification. Like specifically you said, right, like right real quick, like if burdens can be lesser, more terms, and like obviously the proposition or what value they're held at as like an epistemic norm. Is that what it's implying? Not verbatim, but is that the implication here?
What? No, bro, no, bro. Where are you getting this shit from? All I'm saying, you talked about burdens. You said unilateral, bilateral. There can be multiple burdens. There can be, if that person says this, it should be this burden. Okay, so I'm saying, is there only one sense to this? Is there like a simple, yeah, this is the shit, or is there like, oh yeah, if it's contextual? Okay, yeah, if this is the dialectic, yeah, this is the burden. If this is the dialectic, this is the burden. If it's a proposition, it's this rule. I'm just asking that. Do you know what a reference? Wait, actually, wait. Do you know what a reference is? Do you know what a sense in reference is?
Okay, so
Wait, do you know what a sense in
I
reference is?
don't
Because
think
this is
you
my
trying to knowledge test me is going to be important towards the dialectic. So, first of
okay.
all, a clarification point. No, I did not say there was. Okay, so this just kind of proves to me you weren't tracking what I was saying. First of all, so back to what I was saying. Right, I'm gonna respond towards this now. Okay. First of all, I wasn't claiming there could be more burdens. I've already acknowledged the only two in the room, but I was also more so referring in terms of the claims and dogmatic attitudes themselves, right? Obviously, I'm only taking them within a model, specifically just them, nothing else right now, right? I'm saying that in context and index towards the dialectic or the proposition, where the bilateral part still fucking holy shit, what the fuck is going on? Okay, anyways, basically what I'm saying is that because of the specific proposition, negation positive, right? Because we are only referring towards one of them, it can still be considered, in terms of that, a positive claim because it's still affirming. You're affirming that specific proposition, which negates the other proposition. That's like basic shit, right? That is what I am saying, right? So I wasn't claiming there could be more burdens if I'm saying it's unilateral, like you obviously weren't tracking, like multiple shit you were suggesting, which was supposedly within the question, like that just kind of makes you look bad, it's pretty bad here. But to answer the question, yeah, no, it was just in reference towards unilateral shit, not more so bilateral shit. So, yeah, that's basically the gist of what I said. I clarified again for you what I said, and then more so, you got that. I re-clarified what I said originally, and then, yeah, go ahead.
Nice. So just you said no to the yes or no question. So there is only one sense to the actual thing. Okay. So there's only one sense to the burdens. Okay. Okay. So
Okay,
now that
so
since there is
that's not
only,
what I said. That is not what I said.
did you say yes or no? Wait. Okay. Did you say no or do you acknowledge that you said no to the
So
yes or no
I don't
question?
know. I don't know if you don't
Do
have
you
social
fucking
cues.
acknowledge
I
that
don't
you
know
said
if
no?
you do not have social cues or something. I don't know if you don't have social cues, this and that, like obviously you might be a bit low on the spectrum, but again, I'm gonna answer this real quick again for you.
Uh-huh.
I said in terms, right? On mute real quick, on mute, so I can re-clarify you because you're such a fucking dumbass,
Bro said
right?
unmute.
Go on mute. Go on mute. Shut up. Yeah, good boy. Anyways, what I'm saying is that specifically in reference towards the dog's attitudes, if I use it instead of plural set, that means I do acknowledge there's the two, more so not only there's one, right? I'm saying in reflexivity towards the unilateral sense of the claim itself, right? I'm not saying where you consider the bilateral point, the bilateral point, right? The bilateral would be obviously taken into the fact, the proposition, the stances we would take. That's the whole entire dialectic, right? I am taking more so, like I don't know.
Just thinking about the stance
No,
in
no,
that
no, no,
make.
no, 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 no. Don't try and interrupt. Don't try and interrupt. Shut up. Stop trying to use your little rhetoric tactics because you got small balls. They climb back up as they dropped. You don't even hit puberty yet. So anyway, shut the fuck up. Back to what I said, right? I said obviously it's in reference towards these specific claims, and when someone uses them baselessly, like the whole entire point of the argument, because I'm assuming this also is like a meta, like internal critique, but like I'm not even gonna get into that point because it's not needed. Um, More so, yeah, that's what I said basically. It's like the not the bilateral sense, it's just like the proposition taken into account. You have these specific things, but you more so consider the claims themselves, see if the negative claim can be more
So
so
it's context.
a
So it's
positive claim.
contextual, right? So it's contextual. So it's contextual.
Yeah, see, you
Okay,
finally
now
did it.
so
I
finally
finally
this
amped
guy
you. Oh man, my favorite
finally
student, dog.
this
I
guy
finally
finally
amped
answered.
you.
Okay, so there's yes to the question, right? So there's multiple senses. Now we gotta determine what's the criteria for the sense you're using it in. Okay, okay.
So you're asking me for the substantive, or just like the criteria for like the
Okay, you know
proposition
what? Wait,
making?
I got a good idea. Wait, I got a good idea. This dialectic between me and you, what sense do you think that falls under?
So, can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question? Why is trying to metacom on the dialectic itself and not focusing on the substance internally matters to you? So we're gonna get back on track. Stop trying to pull it away from track. The fucking track. It's like this is not good looks. You're learning from Gyro pretty badly. Like you're learning from the Shinra Syndicate pretty badly. Yeah,
Gyra,
yeah,
or you can't
yeah.
even fucking
Anyways,
pronounce
shut
it.
the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Anyways, like so back on track towards the progression, right? You asked me specifically, what's the criteria for the claim I'm making? Yes or no? Answer the question. It's a clarifying question. I've already answered your question.
Yes,
It's pretty
yes.
good.
I'm asking for the criteria for the sense you're using it in.
For
I can answer yes
the
or no.
stance
I
I'm
can say
using, for the
yes or
stance
no
I'm using,
so
right?
quickly.
So
This guy cannot
stance, yes or
answer.
no, right? No, 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 no. So stance
Uh,
I'm using, right? Right?
Okay, okay.
For the stance I'm using, the criteria, right? Obviously, that would be more
Now the
so
criteria for the
meta
sense
language.
itself. What are you
Okay,
talking? No, I'm not
yeah, yeah,
talking
yeah,
about the.
yeah, yeah. No, 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 no. Stop trying to cut me off. Shut up.
Uh huh. Uh huh.
So, anyways, back to what I'm saying. Obviously, what I'm using in terms of substance would just be meta language. I don't know why that's like so hard to get, like past. I don't know why it's so hard to track. Do you not have social
Do
cues?
you know what the criteria is?
So, can I ask you a question? Are you gonna attack what I just said? Bring up any type of like,
Yes, I'm gonna attack what
inconsistency?
you just said.
So I don't care if you're trying to knowledge test me. Go ahead and attack what I just said. Stop being retarded.
This is not even a knowledge that a fucking toddler knows what the criteria is. If it's
Okay.
X is only
And
true if these conditions are
okay.
met. Okay.
Go
No, shut up.
against what I just said. Stop trying to
Yes, I'm
deviate
gonna
away
do
from what
that,
I
bro.
said.
Shut the
Retard.
fuck up. Oh
No.
my god.
Stop trying to
You're
deviate away from that.
also you're not
Stop
gonna
trying to
shut up. You're
attack
not
what I
gonna let
just
me
said,
attack.
retard.
You're not gonna let me attack.
Attack
You're
what I
not gonna.
just said, retard.
Okay, then go on
Attack
mute. Go on mute. Go on fucking mute. Okay, good boy. Such a good bitch. Anyways, so what I'm fucking asking is, there's multiple senses. You conceded to this. So now I'm asking you, what's the criteria for the fact that the sense you're using it in is the correct sense or the most appropriate sense? That's all I'm asking. I don't care. I'm not talking about the sense of the criteria itself. I'm saying that what's the justification that the sense you're using the burden of proof thing is most appropriate than the other senses. I don't even know what the other senses are. Like you'll have to clarify even on that because the moment you said there's more than one senses, you'll have to say what's the symmetry breaker between all of them. But I'm not gonna press you on that because you're a little fucking fragile bitch and can't really handle anything. So answer the question. What's the criteria for the sense? For no, what's the justification that and the criteria for the sense you're using it in? Okay, understand? Good boy.
So I like how this dude tries to press me, but he's gasping between each press because he eats Cheez-Its all day. He has fucking taki dust on up inside his upper lip. It's pretty crusty there. So like lose some weight, maybe a bit. You fat Indian. Anyways, back to what I was saying. Okay, you asked me the criteria. I gave you the criteria. You're just asking me for it again. It's like just a meaningless question. Like what? I already said meta language was
Said
how I already
meta language.
expressed
How the
the
fuck is that a
critique of what I
criteria?
said. Stop
How the
trying.
fuck is
Okay,
that a criteria? You said meta
okay, sure.
language is the
So
criteria.
now, okay, go on mute. Go on mute. I'm gonna explain why it is a criteria. I don't know why. Like this is pretty bad, bro. This is pretty bad. Pretty bad. I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna hold it. I haven't done a debate in like a while, right? Like, but this is by far. If this is the new
I
generation,
can fucking
I
see
am.
you haven't debated in a while.
Okay, go on mute. Go on mute. Go on mute. Good boy. Good boy. Faggot. Anyways, back to what I'm saying. If this is the new generation I'm seeing, there's no point in me doing this shit. Like, it's pretty bad. Like the tracking part in general is just like, what type of future are we putting this into? Like these.
Answer the question, you
So
fucking
shut the
rhetorical
fuck
trash
up,
bag.
retard. Shut the fuck up. Good boy. Good boy. More so just like, what is this? Like, I just have a general question because Yanni is in here. Yanni, like, I just want your thoughts on this real quick. Like, like, I'm not like throwing insults at you or anything. I just want, it's just a genuine question. Like, what's your opinion on the new generation? Like, who, we're like putting our hand, like, putting this into like, these people's hands. Like, what's your feelings about this? Like, Yanni, like, can you just give some awesome commentary?
This is so fucking. Oh my, this is actually
So,
fucking fun. The guy is
that's
not
fine. That's
answering my
fine.
question at all. The
So,
guy is so
anyways, I'm
dodging
gonna
my
answer the
question at
question
all.
now. I'm gonna
Good
answer the
boy.
question now, so I can be good faith, right? And stop being like this loser, you know, who's like, spurging over here. But back to what I'm saying, right? Meta language is how we are expressing the claim. That's literally what I said inside a unilateral sense about the claim in itself, because you are claiming that a negative claim, no matter what, is still a negative claim, right? Like it's not affirming anything, doesn't have any type of affirmation within it, right? I'm just saying meta claim in how we dissect the claim in itself, right? I'm talking about the claim, reflexive of the claim. I'm going to talk about in terms of dialectical progression. Like you already managed to find out due to your, me teaching what a fucking social cue is, that you found out that it was, obviously contextual, right? I'm talking about an expression towards the statements we make. And, obviously the auxastic attitudes which we hold towards, these specific statements, right? Meta language discussing about what this, like statement holds or what the lexicon holds to, right? If I sit here and say, right, let's just say for example, I say this spray bottle on my fucking counter, which is dirty right now, is somewhere over here behind the microwave, right? The other guy says, "Oh no, it's over here, man." So obviously, in terms of bilateral shit, right? That is more so the negative claim, and in context because of that, that is still negation because of the negative burden, right? That's in terms of bilateral, though. Bilateral is acknowledging both. Unilateral is one party, right? So I'm sitting here taking the claim in the first place, right? Discussing about, like what it means specifically in the dissection of the claim. I'm gonna make that point in the reference from the point I made earlier, bit of a symmetrical relationship going on here, like maybe we can have a stable relationship after this, like after anyways, so because the claim in itself, it's still affirming that it's there. If I was to say it isn't, it's still a negative against that, when specifically the claim explicitly states it's here, it's still affirmation because it's still positing that it's there. That's still affirming it's going to be taking this place, right? If I say here and say that's still going to be a negative claim against what is, being inferred within the language in itself, we would have to take into a bilateral sense. If we take into a unilateral sense, that is a contradiction, right? That's a contradiction towards how we use that, and that's just basically going to be like a nonsensical fucking statement. It's how we invoke like oxymorons inside language, right? Like, because it doesn't fucking make sense within the claim in itself. If we sit here and say, oh, so this is a, this is a, since this claim is expressing negativity, the claim in itself is talking about positive shit. So, anyways, that is my justification utilizing meta language. Is there any type of fucking response towards that? Like, stop trying to pull these rhetoric bullshit. Just
This
get straight
this
to the
can be
fucking
applied
substance
to
and stop
all
being
the
meta.
senses. This can be applied to all the senses, unless you're saying that meta language is specific to your sense. Wait, do you think this can be applied to all senses of what you're saying?
Okay, so
Do you think
this is the
meta
reason
language can
why.
be applied? Do
This is
you
the
think
reason
meta language?
why. I'm answering the question. I'm answering the question. Shut up. Go on mute. Go on mute so I don't get interrupted.
Holy
Go on mute.
shit! This guy wants
Go
me to go
on
on
mute
mute
so I
for a
don't get
yes or
fucking interrupted.
for a yes or no
Go on mute.
question. Oh
Go,
my
go, go, go,
god!
go, go,
What
go,
the
go, 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 go,
fuck?
go, 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 go. Good boy. Okay. So back to what I was saying, right? If I specifically mention one claim, wouldn't that be only taken into one claim, into account? Like I believe I already mentioned that. This is like terrible tracking. Terrible, terrible tracking. Terrible tracking. You're absolutely fucking garbage at tracking. So go on. I already went on mute. I would just give you the social security to start
Bro, you
speaking.
just said you just said I wasn't tracking. Well, where's the answer?
I just gave the fucking answer. What?
No, I asked a yes or no question. Do you think meta language is specific to your sense? Yes or no?
Okay, you. Okay,
Yes or
hold on.
fucking no.
Okay,
This
why
guy, bro.
can't you
Yes.
just figure out the answer's already there? Hold on, hold on. Do I need to
Uh,
specifically state it like this, like a fucking
yes.
AI? Hold on,
Yes.
go on mute. Go on mute so I can say this real quick. Beep boop, start digging your butt, twin. Okay, so basically, yeah, it's a specific one claim because I only acknowledged one claim within the fucking example. Okay, so obviously it would hold to one claim, right? That's a fucking specific choice of question, right? You would already have the question in mind, so the answer in itself, which I gave to you, the re-clarification should imply the answer, right? It should
Okay.
imply the
Nice, nice,
answer.
nice. Okay, okay. Wait. So if I don't get the implication, do you think it's right or and honest for me to ask for a yes or no clarification, a binary explicit clarification? Do you think it's honest for me? Because if it's not, then I don't even know what to say. Fucking like I don't even know what to fucking say right now.
Oh my lord. Oh my lord. Oh man. Someone come get her. She's dancing like a stripper. This guy's a stripper. I'm stripping him down. Okay.
Do you want to answer the question?
So is there any type of like response to what I said instead of like my
Oh,
questions?
this
Like
guy, what the fuck? I just
so
asked. Do you think
I'm okay, I'm gonna ask you something, like just for clarification on the
I
question.
asked a fucking
Okay?
question?
I'm gonna
I said,
ask you a
do
question,
you,
retard.
bro,
I'm gonna ask
bro,
you a question
Seba,
about the question,
Seba,
retard.
Seba, Seba, Seba,
So
Seba,
I can answer.
Seba,
I'm
Seba,
gonna
Seba,
ask you a question. I'm
Seba,
gonna answer
Seba,
the question.
Seba,
I
Seba,
ask
Seba,
you the question about
Seba,
the question,
Seba,
right? So I
Seba,
can answer
shut up,
properly,
bitch, shut up.
right?
Seba, 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 Seba,
Right,
Seba.
right,
I said,
right,
Seba.
right,
Uh huh. Uh huh.
right. So can I
There's
ask
a
you a
fucking
question about the
helicopter.
question itself so I can answer it properly, right? Because that's what I was firstly trying to do. And you're like, oh, I just answered the fucking question. Instead of like
Do you
aping
want to
out
give an
like a
explicit
fucking
answer or
monkey,
not?
okay,
Do you want to give an
instead of
explicit
aping
answer or
out
not?
like a fucking monkey, let me ask the question so I can fucking answer it, okay?
Let me ask the question so I can fucking answer it. Oh my god.
I'm gonna ask you a question. It's a clarifying question about the question in general, okay? So go on me real quick so I can ask it.
I
All right,
genuinely
I'm gonna
don't know
be
how.
completely
Bro,
honest because
bro,
of
I
you
just
aping out.
asked,
No. Okay, I'm asking the question,
what
okay?
clarification do you
Shh.
want? I'm just asking, do you think it's
Shh.
good for me to ask for an explicit answer? What clarification do you want?
A explicit answer. Okay.
Yes, a yes or no
First of all, I don't know
answer in this.
why my opinion, like I'm all, the only like I'm only assuming real quick, like go on mute real quick so I can like say something like this, like I'm only assuming this came out of nowhere because I said the answer is right there. Like the response I gave would obviously tell you, indicate that. Like, are you asking me like, like if this is like genuinely honest? Like, because if that's the case, like I don't give a shit about that fucking question. Cause like it has nothing to do with what I said about meta language. Like, are you gonna like fucking like answer it? Because you asked a
Oh,
question
meta
about
language is not the
no, no,
criteria
no, no, no.
you
Okay,
use.
hold on. Because like
Meta
I
language is
gave
not the.
the specific example about meta language, right? You asked me a question about the claims. I answered, right? And then you're giving a fucking like clarifying question about the response in general after I already fucking answered this specific question, right? So are you gonna follow from that instead of like going off topic? Like, is there anything to do which you disagree with about the fucking meta language example, right? Do you like let's see for the justification? Is there any type of like fucking negation against it? Stop
Yes.
being a bitch
Oh
about
my
it.
god,
Fucking
bro,
stay on
Seba.
track.
Bro, Seba. I asked a question, then you responded, then I asked a yes or no clarifying question, and I was like, okay, can I get an explicit a yes or no answer? You were like, it's the
I
implication is
gave you
right there.
okay, hold on. I gave okay, sure.
Nice, good boy.
Maybe it's
Now,
your
I expect
semantics. That's like specifically confuse you because you're aping the fuck out. Maybe if you, calmed your nerves, went to therapy a bit, maybe you can get it out properly, okay? So afterwards, afterwards, okay, let's continue. Let's continue now. Go on mute. So you
What?
okay,
I
let's
asked a yes
continue.
or no
Go on mute.
question.
Okay, I'm trying to answer that, okay? That's why I
Bro,
just
the
said
first
let's
word
continue.
of your
Go on
response
mute
should be a
so
yes
I
or
can
no. I
fucking
swear
answer.
to fucking God.
Are you gonna keep on like spurging out like that? Like you gotta keep going on, like so I can answer. Maybe calm your nerves a bit. Drink a glass of water. It might help you a bit. But I'm gonna answer the question now. You want an explicit answer? Okay, sure, sure. I can give you that. I can give you that. Like it's no problem. Just you had to clarify your semantics. Like okay, okay. So you asked me if this applies to all claims, and I obviously said, okay, so if I'm in reference towards one claim, what should that tell you? I obviously put that as a rhetorical question, right? If I'm only referencing one claim here and specifically go on a meta language of a lexicon, right? A lexicon, which I explicitly stated, a lexicon, right? Right? Lexicon, right? So if I'm talking about a specific one, not lexicons, not a plural set being invoked, a specific thing about it, right? What does that tell you, Dodd? What does that tell you? Come on, I
First
know
of
you're
all,
50.
I
I
didn't
know you're
even
a social.
mention claim. I didn't even mention claims at all. I mentioned senses. There can be multiple senses in if the thesis is contextual. There can be multiple senses. It applies like this here. It applies like this here. It applies
Okay,
like that in
yeah,
context.
that's
That's
still
what I'm
in terms
asking.
of like meta language. In terms of meta language, that would be invoking sentences, this and that. It's still just language applying towards, obviously conveyances. So that would still be more so just like proper like lexicons. I'm not talking about claims, like you asked me if this applies to like all senses, like this and that. Claims like lexicons still can be invoked as like senses if you involve contextuality, this and that. It doesn't matter because generally we're still on the topic about like fucking meta language. So, anyways, I'm gonna go back to the fucking examples. Like, I don't care what you specified; it's still invoking the same implication. So, like,
Do you
anyways,
not want to give an explicit answer?
I'm trying to do that. Like, you're just like,
Yes,
I
bro.
don't know
I'm
what you're
just
doing here.
asking how much more explicit can a yes or no be? Like, how much more explicit can it
Like,
be?
we're trying to get to the meat and potatoes of this, right? We're trying to get to the meat and potatoes, right? The meat and potatoes. Where we can put the sausage in,
Do you want
boom.
to give a yes? Wait, wait, no,
Dinner's
no, no, wait,
exploding,
wait, wait, wait.
Dinner's
This is
done. Boom,
just
dinner's
say you
done.
do not want to
We
give
can
a
get
yes
to
or
the
no,
meat and
bro.
potatoes,
Wait,
right? We can get to the
just
meat
say you
and
do not want to
potatoes.
give a yes or no. Just say you
So
don't want to give a yes or no.
okay, so being rhetorical, like you're not even being rhetorical. So I don't know what
Do
the
you
whole
want to
point
give
of
a yes or no answer?
that specific tone is. So like you going like, oh you just so you don't want to give an answer. So like I don't get why you're trying to act like you're a YN, trying to press me like you're inside my high school. Go like, what's up? What's up? See, we don't fuck with me, huh, nigga? Like
The
shut the
fuck?
fuck up. Like, see, you're not rhetorical. You're getting bitch slapped right now. And at this point, like I'm trying to like give you an explicit answer, right? That's why I'm saying
Nice.
if I'm talking about a unilateral sense and one lexicon specifically, what does that tell you? Right? What does that tell you? What does that tell you?
That was never my question. What the bro? This is
You
an
said
answer to
now?
nothing.
Okay,
That was
hold on, hold on,
never
hold
my
on.
question.
What was your
That
question
was
then?
never my question.
Okay, then say it again. Go ahead.
Nice. Okay. So my
Let's
so
see
my
the
question
backtrack.
is,
Let's see
now,
the backtrack.
I'm asking a question. What can I backtrack on?
Okay.
Anyway,
Let's see the backtrack in terms of the questions. Okay. You just said that wasn't your question, right? So if you're gonna give a question despite trying to like re-clarify something, I don't see how that's a question. So like, obviously, I think you need to like go back to second grade like fucking
what?
semantics, bro. Like
You
that's
don't
bad.
think
That's
a
bad.
yes or no question is a question? What the fuck?
I never said that, retard.
Uh
Okay,
huh.
this is an example of backtracking. I said you were trying to re-clarify a statement you made,
Backtracking what, bro?
right? A statement that you made. You're trying to re-clarify a statement that you made, right? And I'm sitting here, obviously trying to say this is a bad track because you already said that's not the question, right? So obviously you're gonna replace that statement, right? But then you sit here and say, like, oh, so this is a yes or no track. You think a yes or no question is not a question. It's like I don't know where you get that from. Like it doesn't matter to what I said at all. It's like if you could like please stop
The
with the
fuck you
bullshit,
mean?
stay linearly, okay? Just stay linear in the first place, okay? Like
Bro,
please and
my
just
brother
stay linear.
in humanity. Bro, wait, you know what? Calm down. You know what? let's stop the screaming. Let's actually calm down. Okay. So you just said
No, no, no,
that
no,
me
no, no.
asking a yes or
You're
no
trying to
question
ape
is
out.
not relevant
See,
to what you
you were
said.
aping out back then. Like now you're
I
trying
just
to
said
tell me
calm down. What do you mean
now
aping
that you're
out?
getting spine busted up on your fucking back, right? Stop trying to act like you're obviously
No, wait,
or
wait, wait,
you're
wait, wait. You
viewing.
just said it's not
But like
relevant to
if you're
what
not
you
gonna
said.
get on
So
with
you think
it,
a yes
we
or
can
no
just
question
go
is
to
not relevant to
conclusions.
what you said?
Like,
Huh?
okay, so anyways, if you're not gonna get back to the substance of the debate, right?
Mm-hmm. What the fuck? Wait, what?
Dawood. Do you want my baby's Dawood?
Muted Saber, bro. That's a fucking. Anyways. Okay, wait. Since Saber is fucking muted right now, I'll just repeat the question. And reminder to everyone, it's a fucking yes or no question. It because I asked him, is there different senses in which is fuck fuck. Oh my god, this guy is making me forget. Anyways, okay, so I asked, do you think there's multiple senses as to what the concept can be used in? So there's multiple contexts, and there's multiple senses in which the burdens are, and we can adapt the concept to those burdens, to those different senses. So I am asking him this: what's the criteria for the specific senses, this specific sense, that which he is holding to right now? And he said meta language. Now I asked him, do you think what you just said applies to all senses or the specific one which I just asked? Okay, so he's gonna answer yes or no. You can type in chat. I don't really give a fuck. No, Seba, you can. Oh my god. Okay, so yes or no. Seba, you're unmuted.
Okay, finally,
Yes or no? Yes
Okay,
or no?
so okay, shut the fuck up. First of all, like you had to like mute me like this server. Like I don't know if you
I,
got
I don't
Gyro
even have.
here
I don't
trying
even
like
have
arm
perms.
abuse.
I don't even have
So,
perms.
anyways, no, shut up.
Well, I'm gonna have to press you.
Yeah.
Answer the question.
So
I'm just
I
gonna
don't
meet you
care
again,
about
please.
Gyro. Yo, Gyro, go back on mute. You're not relevant here. Anyways, back to what I was originally saying. Right.
Yo, fuck you,
So
yeah.
we're going back to
Gyro. Just me and you, Gyro.
Oh my god, bro, Jared, bro, you see this? Bro, Jared, was my question intelligible?
Yeah.
Do you think he's answering a yes
The
or
only
no
the only
fucking
reason I'm
question?
muting him is because he's dodging the question. Like I don't want to hear this.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna
exactly.
lie.
See, exactly.
Wait, Seb, I'm gonna mute you if you're not answering the question. I'm just gonna stop the recording. Okay.